everybody. Um, Figured I'd do like kind of like a vlog setup today or something. I don't have really a lot of like specific repairs to put up, so I figured I'd put up something like a vlog of what I'm doing. Um, I say it's not like a specific thing. I'm working on working on the sander here. I had an issue with the top. As they get older, they mix some of this up with steel and then with stainless and I guess get aluminum fenders. But what happens over time is obviously the steel will rot and rust from the salt being in them. So usually what happens is these little rings here will they'll break. So these are the hinges for the grates here. So what happens is that they get filled with rust and then they just kind of rot away, and then they usually break right at the top. So as you go to open it, it's, if I'm putting the weight on there too, and the material, and it puts a lot of weight on these, and it usually breaks the top and then it kind of falls in. So I had them chained up for a little bit, so I thought I'd come up here and repair these. So what I usually do is I'll take some of this, I think it's 1/8 inch by 3. I think I just cut this out of stuff, so I made it pretty much 3 inches wide. That's about what these are, is 3 inches wide. So I cut it 7 inches long, and then I'll wrap it around a 2-inch pin, and I'll kind of clamp it on the vise so it's like a U. And then this is all angle iron, so what I'll do is I'll put it in and weld it across the top, and then I'll weld it to the bottom of the angle iron. You can kind of see the way they do this. It's just a piece of pipe over the top of the pipe, and they just basically weld it right there on the edge, like on the top and on the bottom. So you get a lot of rust and stuff in there because it's such a tight tolerance. But usually, like I say, it breaks right here, and then this opens up and it falls in. And hopefully you catch it before it goes in. So anyway, the way I do these ones is I just wrap it around as like a U. It's the easiest way to kind of put a hinge on there. Basically the ridge pole here, you're pretty much not going to get that out because it bolts in here, and then it goes through this piece right here, and it's pretty much seized in all there. I mean, you can get out if you heat it, but with all the weight on here, it's a real pain to slide that out. Plus it starts bending and stuff. So yeah, it's usually easier to repair it. So anyway, so what happened was I came up here to look at this, and I noticed I was having a bigger issue. The center cross member here had broken and was falling in. So I have to repair this still. Some of the other problem we have is this I-beam right here, the lifting I-beam. It's all rotted out in the middle, and the bottom broke down, and it was kind of hanging in too. So it started squeezing the sides together. So what happened was there's another piece on the bottom here. It was like a 2-inch by 5-inch angle. It was bent, and it was welded in here and over there. I had to cut that out because it broke off here, and it was like bent way forward, so it wasn't going to hold this up again, because this isn't strong enough to hold it up. That other piece was welded in underneath and tied in here, and then that broke and fell in, and then this just kind of collapsed. So this broke here, and it broke here. So I used this big jack here to jack it back up into place, and then I re-welded this here and here, and I got to go pick up a piece of 3-inch by 4-inch 1/4-inch angle iron that I'm just going to weld in right here into the bottom of this to brace it back up again the way it was supposed to be. So I think it was maybe 10 gauge or 12 gauge material that was welded underneath here, and I'll show you that. But I mean, I might have been able to save it by bending it back in, but it was getting torn out on the sides, so that was going to be a problem. And it was already bent, and I don't really have a way to put the angle back into it to weld it back up into here. So I I figured I'd just replace it. I wanted to use tubing. I have a piece of tubing, but it's 1/8" steel. I think it's like 2.5 by 2.5, and it just, if it wasn't for a sander, I'd have used it, but because it holds salt and stuff all the time, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna rot right out, and then we're gonna have the same problem. So that's why I'm opting for a piece of 1/4" stainless. So I used some blocking here. You could see there's just, was it 2x10 or something like that, and it actually holds in there pretty good. It's just kind of on the braces, where the outside braces are, is where I put these, and I was able to just jack that right up. It didn't take a lot, because I mean there's not a ton of weight on there, but it's seemed to be an easy way to do it. Just getting it in here was the hard part. You see right here is one of the hinges I replaced before, so that's how I welded. I welded on the bottom here, and then basically to the top of that piece of angle. And it works out pretty well. And you get a bigger tolerance here, so it's not like it doesn't get all rusty as quickly. Because I mean, you can move it around and it just kind of falls out. It's not like something like this that's really tight. I think this hinge still works. But yeah, that one's pretty open. But you can see like right here how it's getting real thin, and then they just end up breaking. So yeah, so I'll show you the cross brace that was in there. So we got this. This is what was in there. As you can see, that's where it was welded in the middle. But you got a pretty good bend in it, where it started just kind of caving in. But so yeah, it's got a little bow in there. So I thought I could probably push this back into place, but then I'm still gonna have that bow, and it's gonna want to fall in. You can see at the bottom, that's where it was welded on the sides. So I ended up using a piece of this, or a couple pieces of this. This is what I welded into the side of the box hopper there, to patch those holes. So yeah, that's kind of how I noticed that something was going on, just because you can see where it was tearing out. I could see down here that it was tearing out, so I was like, oh, something's going on in there. So I went up there and took a look, and that's what I saw. So that's kind of what I've been working on for some of this week. Get little things here or there that pop in, little repairs. I think I put a tube in a tire for one of the lawnmowers. And yeah, there's other things. I had to go get consumables for the welder we got here. It's a pretty good welder. Newest one I've ever used. But it works pretty well. Was it a Power MIG 260? I like it. Does a good job. Cord's longer too, so the cord will actually go right up into the other side of the hopper here. The other one we had, it wouldn't make it to the hinge. I had to actually jack the front of it up and put like one of these blocks under it, just to get that extra foot, and it was as long as it could go is what I needed to get to center hinge. But that ended up working too. Well, I got this ladder's kind of pulling away, so I figured I got a little extra of that angle iron, or angle stainless, whatever you call it. And we got a cross brace here, so I'm just going to weld it to this and bring that out to bolt the ladder back to it. And yeah, a couple other things. Grease fitting in there I need for the tube. It's kind of squeaking. I tried to grease it, and then there's a hole at the bottom of a 90 that's in there that goes into the side of the tube. So I'll end up with a chunk of grease down on the bottom. So I gotta get one of them. I planned on doing a video of this later, but I got a set of instant chains for this truck right here. I mean, they've been sitting here for probably a month, and I just haven't had the time to put it in. I thought I was going to do it this week, and then I went up on that sander, and I saw that was falling in, so that took priority. But every time I think things are slowing down enough to put them on, something else happens. But, I mean, they work kind of nice. These two trucks don't have locking rear ends, so it makes it easier to have these on. But it's kind of what they look like. So it's just a chain wheel, and then you put air to these cans here, and then it just pushes it over up against the tire, and then the chains spin under the tire when you're driving. They seem to work. I mean, they'd be nice for like ice and stuff, because it can get pretty dangerous. People don't realize. They think it's a big truck, and they go great, but it's just a bigger object sliding down the road. So things can get pretty hairy with them. So anyway, that's what I'm working on today. Keep trying to get the time to bring this block down and have the cylinders bored. I did a little needle scaling on the side to get the flaky rust off. It seemed like right here was the only spot that really had a lot of rust, so I kind of wanted to get that off. Paint it or something. I've been doing other measuring. I measured the crank, so I'll have a video of that coming up, or just a basic video of it. I measured the crank, I measured the rods that I got for it, and the rods I got for it that were supposed to be good are not what I would really call acceptable, so I'll have to have the bushings changed. I ended up ordering another common rail rod, so I might just go with the common rail ones. I found a place in, I think, Las Vegas or something like that. I happened to stumble across it, and they said that they'll change out the bushings and bore them for $30 labor, and then I'd have to buy the bushings. I think the bushings are like $50 for 4 or 6 or 8 of them or something, and then I could send those down. So, and then it'll end up being probably like $220 for labor and parts, and then whatever shipping would cost, which is kind of stinks because I paid like $225 for them to begin with, and they were supposed to be good, but like everything, well, not everything, but with my luck, I'll say everything for me. Those are the types of problems I have. So there's that. I think I'm gonna need a new cam. I measured the front and rear journals, and I think they're like 1/1000th under the maximum or minimum diameter. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need a new cam too. So I don't really know exactly what I want to do about that. I asked the guy about the cam journal bearings, or the inside journals, or what, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. These guys right there. I asked him about those. He said that basically I think I told him I thought it was like a 1/2,000th out, or out of round, and he said that's nothing to worry about. But I think it was actually 1.5 out. I think 3/1000ths was a tolerance. I think I was 1.5 out, which I don't think that'll be an issue anyway. But he told me it was going to be like $1,000 to line bow those and put bushings in there. So I'm not going to do that. So I figure it was working fine before I took it apart. So, well, I guess it wasn't working fine, but it was working fine right up until the catastrophic disaster that made it not work anymore. So I figure I'm just going to change the outside bearings and then go with what's there. Because, yeah, I don't want to spend that much on it. But it's already getting up there. I think the rebuild kit's like $1,500, and then $500 for the blocks. I'm at $2,000 already just for that. And then there's going to be other things I'm going to need when I reassemble it, and then stuff, because I got the truck, I was half taken apart. So as I put the truck back together, I'm sure I'm going to need other things. I'm probably going to need injector lines or something. But so it's going to end up running a lot more than I anticipated. But I mean, it'll end up being like probably like $2,000 more than I thought. So I'll have 5,000 on the truck maybe. But I guess it is what it is. I mean, I could get a rebuilt one for I think like 4,500 or something like that. But then I got to send the block back, or the original back, and do all that, which I'm not really too interested in doing. Plus, you never know how it was rebuilt. Somebody might have just slapped it together, and they give you this warranty that you can never really use because, oh, you got to bring it all. Oh, bring it to Alaska, and we'll change it for you, or we'll exchange it. And it's just, I don't know. At least, I mean, I spend the extra money doing this, but at least I know that I did it right, and it should be basically kind of like a new engine by the time I'm done, except for the cam bearings in there. But those are what they are. But so 1,500 is really, I mean, it's not a huge amount. In my mind, I don't like it, but I guess I'd have to buy a new one if it was a big deal to me, or have them line board. But I don't know. I think it'll be fine. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. And then I see other things pop up. Trucks need work here, things need work there. I think I did some. I've got videos waiting. They're scheduled to be released. I'm gonna schedule. I schedule them for Fridays basically. So I'm trying to do 2 a week, but I'm gonna at least do 1 a week. So there'll be 1 on Fridays, and then I think I have some Saturdays, some that are relevant to the first one. So if I worked on a car, I think I worked on a truck and I did a couple of things to it. So I figured I released 1 on Friday and then something else on Saturday for it, for the same truck. So that's how I'm trying to do it. Or like a Tuesday or something like that. I figure if I don't have anything kind of up for a while, I'll try to throw another video up. Hopefully find them entertaining. If not, well, I mean, you can leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Not a lot of comments. A lot of people watching the videos, but not a lot of comments. So I don't really know which direction to go. So that's what I'm kind of trying to vlog type of thing today, and see how that goes. If anyone is interested in them, let me know. Want shorter things, or if you don't want the big long drawn out videos. I try to do the longer videos, not specifically to do a long video, but I like to give all the information that I have about something, and I put a lot of stuff in the description. So look through the descriptions. I'll if there's resources that I use that are offline, I'll put links in the description so you can get the same information that I have. So I try to give you all the information that I have, and I figure you can whittle down the videos or fast forward to parts that have the information that you need. I'd rather give you too much information than not enough, because I know when I'm looking for information or something online and I get part of the information, it makes it harder because you got to keep looking. So that's why the videos are so long, is because I like to give as much information as possible. At least you have it. If you don't need it, then you don't have to use it. But if you don't have it, then you still need it. So that's basically the reasoning for why the videos are so long. So anyway, in a little bit I'll have to go to a place we get our material from and pick up some of that stainless to weld up under this support here. So I got me here a piece of 3" by 4" by 1/4" stainless angle iron, or angle stainless, whatever you call it. So I kind of shot myself in the foot. So I welded up this hole with a patch on the inside, and I kind of wish I didn't do that, because I wasn't really thinking about turning this thing straight once it's in there to go all the way across, because corner to corner we are bigger than it is wide, so this is gonna get caught in the corner, and even this way it's 2.5 inches from here to the flat. So yeah, I'm off like well, I guess 2.5 inches at the least, or 3 inches at the most, to turn this thing in here, which is kind of problematic. So I can't slide it straight down because it's got to go up against the side here, and then this lip is in the way. So it's like, this is a 2-inch lip on both sides, so it's like I can't orient it in there where I can get it straight under where I need to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slit out, probably like a 1/2 inch wide and maybe 3 inch long with a plasma cutter, kind of like, oh, hold on while I don't fall off, kind of like right here. So I'll cut like a slit right there, and after I cut said slit in there, I will be able to turn this piece of angle iron sideways. So what I'll do is, where that slit is, I will poke this corner in, and then I'll be able to slide the other one sideways, and then that'll give me the recess where this will go in and then out. And then I'll be able to get this piece of angle iron in there and tuck it up where it needs to be. So that's what I'm gonna do next. So I end up taking a grinder, just grinding a slot in there, so I can stick the corner of it through and turn it sideways. Pretty good. Hold on. I just got wedged.
Wedged in there?
Yep.
It is?
Yep.
Need another one?
Yeah, I'll find 2. Yep. So I'm gonna clean this all up, clean the rust of stuff off, and then clean it up there for welding purposes over there. So yeah, I just stuck it in, as you saw, and turned it. Worked great. Alright, so we're all done with inside the sander. So I'm just kind of working on this ladder here. I'm just using the piece that I had left over. So I just kind of extended that bottom brace right there, welded in a little piece, and I'll straighten out this ladder and tack it on. It's a little twisted, but it's only on one brace. I pulled it straight to kind of try to straighten it. I mean, you could see it. You pull down, it twists. It got like kinked right in here in the past, so it's one of those, the shape doesn't want to come back. So I'll pull this down and kind of straighten it as I drill it and get it all lined up as best I can. Sometimes you just got to make do with what you got, and yeah, kind of just make it work. So yeah, it's kind of been my project for today. After this, we have to put some plow shoes on one of the fixed plows, because it didn't have any on there. So these are a couple brackets with some shoes for an Everest plow. So we got to put that on next. I won't film that because that's just going to be bringing it in and welding it on, things of that nature. But anyway, so let me know what you think. If you like this style of kind of what I'm doing during the day, or if you prefer just repairs, step-by-step things, or what you're looking for. It's hard to know what people want without any feedback. So, you know, if you have an interest in what I'm doing, then yeah, just let me know what you're looking for, and I might be able to accommodate your desires. Well, not desires, that's kind of a weird word, but yeah, I'll do my best to make things entertaining. So, all right, so got the ladder all back up, drilled some new holes, kind of got it lined up a little bit better, so it's kind of straight across, not all crooked. I had to loosen up them bolts up there and heat them up to get them loose, so I could let the ladder kind of relax and reset up against the fender there, because it was kind of like pulled out, and it was just like bending the bracket up there when I pushed it in. So a little time consuming, but so that should be good now. No more rattling around. The let's see, sander grates are all closed up again. Should be good to go. So this is the next thing to do. Probably help one of the guys tomorrow put them feet on this. I gotta go right here on the side, and yeah, either do that or I'll start working on the instant chains on this one. Had to swap the welder back over to steel, take the stainless out and change the gas bottle and all that jazz. So yeah, it's the little things that are kind of time consuming. That, walking back and forth, getting tools, things like that. I got a def tank heater to change on one of the other department trucks, and I had some strobes working on one of the loaders. They were basically on there, but they hadn't been fully wired in. They were they're just installed. I got to install a couple on the front too. And yeah. So, I mean, that's my today. I mean, well, there's other things that I didn't take a camera out for that it's not worth shooting. So, I mean, this isn't all I did today, but it was a good part of it, I guess. So, anyway. Yeah, I don't know how to finish these ones because I really didn't show you too much. Just kind of what I did for the day. Or, not for the day, but for some of it. Anyway. La 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 la. So...